Recently, I traveled to Ghana through British Airways.
6 on British Airways flight 081 to Accra.
Just in case anybody is watching from British Airways, there's something they need to fix very, very quickly. And this has to do with British Airways. On this particular flight I was on, it was delayed for almost 1 hour. That is a long time. And also on my return, when I was coming back as well, it was delayed for almost half an hour. Even though they announced and they said this is the reason why it was delayed, but having said that, it's still really not good enough. I think they really need to keep on time. I didn't have any other choice than to choose British Airways because they were the only airline that fly direct from London to Accra, Ghana. And seriously, I think a country like Ghana should have their own airline. When you have countries like Rwanda, South Africa, Ethiopia, and some other countries in Africa who have their own national carrier, I think Ghana should have an airline that fly direct from London to Accra so that there will be more choices for people to be able to decide which one to choose and not just get stuck with only one airline. This isn't really to say anything bad about British Airways. It's just because when there's competition, it's really good for customers. Checking was really easy and straightforward. I had to do mine online and I arrived early at the airport to drop my bag, which was something that is so easy as well. And seriously, I don't really like staying on queue. That was the reason why I decided to arrive early, so that I could just drop my bag and just stay there and just wait for boarding. Flying direct is usually more expensive, but usually saves some time, and also fatigue of traveling can be reduced. For someone like me flying on economic ticket, as you walk in through the aircraft, the first thing you really see is the business class. As I was walking through the business class, and I was thinking in my mind, maybe next time I should consider business class. It's almost like they're putting it into your face to tell you that this is what you are missing. Obviously, for now, I can only afford economy, and maybe in the future, who knows, I might be able to afford, business class or even first class. As somebody who really loves food, I was looking forward to the food. And food for me, it wasn't bad at all. First of all, a while after takeoff, we were offered some drink. I had apple juice and some snack. There were other options of drinks available. About 2.5 hours after taking off, that was when they started serving the meal. And the meal for me, it wasn't bad at all. It was rice and chicken curry, which was really good enough for me. And there was a bit of vegetable on it as well. And other things that you usually have, on flight, you will have all sort of like variety of things like pudding and, and starter and all of those really nicely packaged. About 1 hour 30 minutes to landing, we were also offered another drink. And this time it was a hot drink. And I had coffee because I always love coffee. As well, we were also given a pastry. And the food on return was really good as well. The main was jollof rice, the great jollof rice. Maybe it's Nigerian jollof rice or Ghanaian jollof rice, I don't really know, but anyway, so the jollof rice was really good, and there was a little bit of spice in it, and also there was that, a plantain as well. Plantain was part of, the jollof rice, and I truly enjoyed that. British Airways provide you the accessory or the headphone to be able to enjoy the entertainment, and for those who would like to charge their devices as well, you have the option of the USB port to be able to plug it in and charge your mobile devices. By the way, I must mention that you have to have your charging cable with you because they don't provide you that. You only have the USB port. In terms of the toilet or restroom, I used it only once during the flight, and I have to say that it was clean enough for me, and I thought it was well kept. British Airways also provides a nice clean small blanket. When the flight is on air, it can be a bit chilly, so some people might need that blanket. But for me, when I was going the afternoon flight, I didn't really need it. But coming back through a night flight, I used the blanket. In terms of the entertainment, there were a lot to choose from. I do enjoy watching documentary, and I found one very interesting one about Diego Maradona, so which I really enjoy watching. However, I must actually say that I'm a little bit disappointed because there were not a lot to choose from in terms of things that has to do with the destination where the flight was going. I'm talking about in Ghana. So the flight going to Ghana, I would have thought, or let's say Africa, I would have thought that they should have a lot more option in terms of the entertainment that relate to either the culture or the people. I believe a lot of people on that particular flight going to Accra, I believe majority of them are Ghanaians, and at least even if not Ghanaian, maybe African like me, majority on that flight. So I would have loved to see some entertainment that relate to Africa, that are related to African culture or African people. Maybe they were there and maybe I didn't really see them, but I actually really scanned through and searched, but I couldn't really find much. Having said that, I do enjoy a lot of other things there. And by the way, I actually saw Diary of a CEO, which is actually hosted by Stephen Barnett, and that Diary of a CEO, it is a kind of like a podcast which is usually on YouTube as well. And I thought if you could have that on the list of the entertainment, I would have thought that they could also have maybe if not a TV program or movie that are African related, maybe some content that relate to some African YouTuber or African content creator. There are a lot of content that originate from Africa nowadays, which you could just negotiate with some of them and just find a way of incorporating some of this African content on the entertainment on British Airways, especially when you're talking about a flight that is going that have destination going to Africa. If I'm wrong about this, please leave me a comment and let me know. Maybe there was something really there that are African that I couldn't really see myself. I saw something about Wi-Fi as well, and I tried it. It didn't really work for me, but I can't really say much about this. But it must just really be that I wasn't techy enough to be able to do it properly. But definitely there was something about Wi-Fi, or it might just be something that you have to pay for. And then they do have assistant as well, which you can press the button up somewhere and then request for assistant. And I have to say that the head hostess, they were really very helpful. So something like maybe Wi-Fi, if you're really desperate, you need to use Wi-Fi, you might ask for assistant. They might show you how to do it properly. Will I go on British Airways again to Accra, Ghana or Nigeria or somewhere else? Definitely I will. I don't really have much bad thing to say about them, except for the delay. I think it's something that they really need to fix. As a whole, the overall, my review, not really bad at all. In terms of option, I think competition is really good. It will really be nice to have another airline that is going through Accra, Ghana, not just only one airline that you just are stuck with. And lack of competition is not really good for customer, and it would really be nice even for the Ghanaian government as well to just have another airline, like maybe a Ghanaian Airways as well. All these airways, where have they gone? Ghanaian Airways, Nigeria Airways, I didn't really know what happened to them. I think they really need to have their own. If you have countries like Rwanda, you have countries like Ethiopia, South Africa, Egypt, and all these countries, some countries in Africa who have the airline that have the name of the country. I see no reason why Ghana cannot have, like Kenya Airways as well. If you're going to Kenya from London, you have the option to choose Kenya Airways as well. As much as you can have a British Airways as well, you have Kenya Airways. So which kind of give you that option, not just like you're stuck if you're going direct. I mean, there are other avenue that you can go through, like maybe other airline that go that we have layover somewhere else. But in terms of direct, just having only one airline going to that particular location, a popular location for that matter, where they have maybe they might have a flight maybe on daily basis, it's not really good enough to just have only one airline doing that. Competition is good for customers. Have you been on British Airways to Accra, Ghana? Please do leave a comment and let me know your experience.